This is the GOOG 1 month overview reading for the month of August 2024. It's currently June 18th, 2024, 2:13 p.m. Eastern Time. Google at the time of this reading is $175.82. That's USD. The shuffle video for the August reading was created on June 9th, 2024 at 4:57 p.m. Eastern Time. That's a video playing for you in the lower left corner. The overall theme of behavior for GOOG in the month of August is bearish price swings, and at least one sharp drop in the midst of those bearish price swings. It's crossed with an intentional fake out or shake out, some sort of tricky chart behavior that's intended to make us do the wrong thing impulsively, or maybe like a false triggering of an indicator. Behavior around the highest high, we have a period of volatility that ends with the fast sudden move higher, taking us into the high. Behavior around the lowest low, we have a decline to and through multiple support levels into the low, and the high and the low are within close time proximity to each other. Now, I'm going to get into the day-by-day chart behavior, as well as timing the highs, the lows, and the best trade opportunities. All of that in just a moment. But before we do that, I want to make sure that you're aware. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits from every profitable trade utilizing this information should be donated forward to one of these charities, or pick a charity of your choosing, as long as you're paying 5% forward, and then 5% should be sent back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise, or you can use YouTube Tips, and that leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you follow the rule of karma for the channel, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. Let me just remind you, although the timeline cards represent about 24 hours of time, not each card's energy will necessarily line up perfectly with 24 hours of time, so you might have to give a plus or minus a day of wiggle room here or there. Just make sure to follow the sequence of events as outlined by the prediction, and that will keep you on track if we do get off by like a day here or there. As far as the timing of the highs, the lows, and the best trade opportunities, all that's in the paid version, along with cross-reading congruencies, any price level information, all that stuff in the paid version. So on the first, we have an important price level on it. It's an important technical price level on a 1-year chart scale minimum. There's a trough early in the day, and there's a day trade opportunity. I'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. But the science card sometimes indicates like a high, and because we've got highs in a lot of the August readings here between the 1st and the 5th, I'm going to say that it's very possible that this is a high right here, and we decline pretty notably on the 2nd. There's a prominent peak either on the 1st or the 2nd. It looks like we probably end the day to the downside. A lot of price change covered. We end the day at an important support level, and then on the 5th, we have a big move to the upside, a prominent peak at the beginning of the day, and there may be a trade opportunity there. I'll talk about it in more detail. So we go on the 5th, like a big move higher and then sideways rotation, and then 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level on the 6th. The 3rd cross to the upside, confirming a bullish trend. We have a trade opportunity on the cusp of the 6th, 7th, probably early in the morning on the 7th, and it'll be at a key resistance level on a multi-day scale, and we should decline from that resistance and then return to it in the not too distant future. I think we probably decline from it early in the day on the 7th, and then we return to it either at the end of the day on the 7th or more likely on the 8th with a rally that increases with momentum moving forward in time and taking us back to a prominent peak. On the 9th, we have a move to the upside followed by a full retracement. On the 12th, we have sideways rotation along key support. On a multi-day scale, we rise to meet the nearest resistance and then fall back down and continue rotating sideways. There's a notable move to the upside at some point there. And then the 13th, we have the abundance card. This is where it gets a little tricky for the Google. In a lot of the August readings, there's a low over here. But the abundance card is really unnatural in the low position. This is going to indicate probably a higher price level than the lows that we probably had like a trough on the 12th, on the 9th or the 12th, or maybe early in the day on the 13th. But we have like this prominent peak that forms either on the 13th or on the cusp of the 13th, 14th with a move higher through resistance. We stay above it briefly, break back down through it shortly thereafter. And that peak, we decline into like a U-shaped dip on the 14th and rally back to a peak at the end of the day on the 14th, or more likely into the 15th. There's a pop and a drop on the 15th with a prominent peak there as well. I'm advised not to chase a rally on the cusp of the 15th, 16th, and the 16th. It looks like there's an overbought crest that we sell off from through multiple support levels. Before we go any further, let's take a look and see how we're doing for June. All right, so we had a lowest low on the 1st, a highest high thus far there on the 2nd, lowest low, highest high. That worked pretty well. We missed out on this other lowest low here. It looks like that didn't really come in. Was that the 6th? No, that one didn't pan out so well. In fact, this stone actually created a new highest high, which I should have read. I mean, I have a circle here for like the 4th, 5th, 6th, so I'm sure I said that there's a possibility that high would be there. And then we've got another place around the 12th where we most likely would have a highest high. Looks like I nailed that one. Interesting. And in the grand scheme of things, it looks like we might be in the universe card here, but it's very likely that we have another high side. I mean, we came very close, so I would say that's already kind of fruition, but it is possible that we could be in this decline here, and in which case we would see another move to the upside on the 20th. But if this is the high, I mean, it could, because we're pretty close, you know. I'd say it probably was the high, and we're probably already in the midst of this decline. Yeah, I think we're probably already in the midst of this decline here for the 20th. And we should go into lowest lows in the last week. This is pretty good. Not my best, but it's not bad. We nailed most of the stuff. As far as trades, if you would open up a long position on the 3rd, you would have been able to close that long position on the 5th. That would have been a solid trade. On the 6th, you could have opened up a long position and closed that long position later in the day on the 6th or on the cusp of the 6th, 7th. That would have panned out. On the 12th, you could have opened up a short position and held that short position until the 18th. That would have been a solid trade. All the trades really solid, guys. If you're interested in the paid version, it's a really great way to support the channel. You're getting information in the paid version that you won't find anywhere else in the world. This is super undervalued information. Literally only place you can find it is at Tarot for Traders and the Investor Profit. What you're getting is the timing of the best trades, what type of trades to make, also what type of chart behavior to look for as far as entry and exit into and out of those trades. You get any trades from a multi-month and a multi-year standpoint, and then any price level information that we're able to extrapolate. This is super valuable information. People with the paid version are making money. So the way that you get the paid version, you go to our website, Tarot for Traders, you hover over our services, click on SO Meta Posts, and then you want to scroll down to monthly subscription, click here to order. You can subscribe to any one of these individual crypto or ticker symbols for $2.49 a month, or you can get the all paid version, which gives you access to all of these cryptos and ticker symbols for $4.99 a month. Not to mention, you are also getting any one-offs, any custom monthlies that people order for that month, and any monthlies that I do that are relevant to that part of the year. So there's going to be different monthlies coming out month to month, and you would have access to all of those paid versions through the all paid version. The most popular way to support the channel, and not to mention, it's a really great way to get my attention. So thank you to everybody that goes ahead and does that, and let's get back into it. Pretty sharp decline there on the 19th. It probably started on the 16th, but there's a pretty sharp decline there on the 19th. Looks like we bottom out somewhere around the 20th or at the beginning of the day on the 21st. Wherever we bottom out, there should be a fast sudden move higher. It'll be like bearish price swings, and there should be a fast sudden move higher ending the decline at an important support on a multi-day scale. And then we should see a lot of price change from low back into a high somewhere around the 21st, 22nd, a prominent peak or crest. On the 22nd, a rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with decreasing volatility on the way down, turning into erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level on the 23rd. In the midst of that erratic behavior, we should see a crest that we should revisit a crest that we recently met. As bearish price swings or a sharp drop on the 25th probably starts out with a little bit of a rally, but overall turns into a move to the downside. And then at the end of the day, it looks like there's a rally that commences out of a trough, taking us to a prominent peak in the morning on the 26th. And we should like push the upper end of a range higher here. This is also kind of tricky. The second week and the fourth week kind of tricky for Google. The 27th indicating an important range on a multi-day scale is highlighted here on the 27th. In a lot of the readings, there's a significant low somewhere here between the 25th and the 27th. On the S&P, it looks like it's here on the cusp of the 25th, 26th. In any case, there's a rally on the 28th that either turns over towards the end of the day on the 28th, or it's followed by a decline on the 29th. The decline, there's a peak early in the day on the 29th, a failed attempt to break the key resistance, a decline to key support, taking us to a trough at the end of the day. And then it looks like the first trading day the following month, there's going to be a peak there. And the sneak preview for September, we have a crest that will sell off from down to and through support, and we do a U-shaped reversal below that price level, come back and reuse it as support. That's GOOG for August 2024, my friends. That's a public version. Now, for the private version, I'm going to get into the best trades, what to look for as far as entry and exit on one-day charts for entry and exit into and out of those trades. We're going to talk about any price level information we're able to extrapolate, time the highest highs and the lowest lows, all that stuff, guys, in just a moment. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one. Everybody else, if you got the paid version, stay tuned. We'll get into that momentarily.